Welcome again, Scorpio. Dadhichi here with your March 2020 horoscope, 2020 vision, we hope. I wanted to kick the month off talking about one of your ruling planets, Mars here, which in the Vedic system of astrology has a very unique aspect, or what they call drishti, or sight, to your 10th house of career. Now this third house, where you see this, what I'd call a traffic jam. This traffic jam is in the third house, which is usually construed as the place of communication, but it is actually the place of courage and valor. So what I'm seeing here for you this month is a distinct lift in your energy levels. We see also that Mercury is retrograde here in the 5th house with the Sun and Neptune. This 5th house is your creativity. So although you've got the courage to move forward this month and to do some bold things professionally, Mercury may still be throwing a bit of a spanner in the works, and for you, Mercury is not exactly your friendliest planet. A couple of unexpected things may be going on for you. You've got this conjunction of the Sun and Neptune making you very, very idealistic, and then simultaneously you've got, along with this retrograde Mercury going into your 4th house of family, domestic issues, home, the conjunction, the rather unexpected events that can occur around the Venus-Uranus combination in your relationship area. Now, you've got to be careful. You need to be a step ahead of your lover, your partner, your spouse, your business partner, people in general, because this shows that they may be acting erratically, to say the least. Venus rules this 7th house, which is other people. And here, I think what's very important too, coming from your zone of friendships around the 9th of March, you can keep your eye on this calendar here, the full moon, which for you, the moon is really one of the best and most exceptional planets. It's your planet of luck. It's one of the karmic planets. The 5th and this 9th house are the karmic. Now, the 5th house is your past karma. This has to do with, I tend to feel, your past karma too, to an extent, but you've got the North Node or future karma point here, transiting here, and has been for about a year or so. Now the moon, as it moved through this 11th house around the 9th, 10th, 11th, would bring some good fortune, better friends, and some fulfillment of a desire that you've had for some time. I know a lot of you under Scorpio have been obstructed by some of the things that have been happening in your life, but thank goodness, and we talked about this a little last month, having this very powerful conjunction of planets in your 3rd house is not causing you to shy away from anything, that's for sure. And you notice most of the planets are underneath the Earth, so you've been holding things a little close to your chest. Maybe in the past you'd wanted to share that with other people, and now you're more concerned about just collecting your energy, being contained in yourself, and doing things in a way that doesn't dissipate your power base. Mercury goes direct again back into this 5th house of creativity, and that's in the 2nd half of the month. And so that's significant because it makes connection with Neptune here and the Sun. These are very idealistic. So you've got some brilliant ideas at the moment. What may be holding you back, I suppose, is the timidity that Saturn sometimes creates. But if you notice here, and this is going to happen a little later, but very shortly, after 2.5 years of Saturn inhibiting you, causing all sorts of problems in your communications, your contracts, and your efforts, this planet on the 23rd or 24th, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken, moves out of this area for the first time in that lengthy period. There it is there on the 22nd, just at the same time that the Sun makes its way into your zone of health, workplace activities, etc., etc. So I mentioned earlier Mercury had moved back into this 4th house. There may be some things you've been doing around the home, expenditures that you've had that relate to your domestic sphere that may not have been done properly. Scorpio, the retrograde Mercury had gone back in there up till the end, up till the middle of the month, And then I'm thinking that what's happened is that you've been able to resolve that. You've had your powwow with whoever it is, and also the movement of Venus away from the disruptive Uranus is quite good, although there on the 27th you still have a little bit more of a flashback, if I could call it that, with the moon crossing over Uranus. The Mars-Saturn sitting on either side of this lower part of the horoscope can indicate some frustrations in yourself, in your own performance, in the way that you're doing things. Working too hard, perhaps, Sun in the 6th house. There are often links to your health, your well-being, and the manner in which you happen to be working. So that's important to take note of that, especially in that last few days of the month. Saturn puts the brakes on some of your home activities, and you'll notice that on the last day of the month, there's a bit of a prelude to April. Mars and Saturn are going to, well, they are in very close proximity there, and that is a very clashy sort of conjunction. So things on the domestic front, number one, I mentioned there might have been some work or some activities you were doing there. This is separate. This Mars-Saturn combination, because it's your personal ruler, shows conflicts within the home, frustrations with the way things are being conducted by other family members, for example. And although the Sun here in the 6th house may have a lot to say about your work per se, it has to do with your routine and the way you approach your day-to-day activities. Here we see it's not a bad aspect, but I think there are still some challenges here, as you can see, up loosely to Uranus. So this can throw a spanner in the works here, and it means you need to get more organisation and discipline going on the home front. That important new moon, I think, is going to punctuate the end of the month with a call to you to really dig deeply into your creative self. Allow that spirit of endeavour to take over, and don't be afraid now. I think you've got the green light to move forward, and so many things that have been held back by Saturn being in this 3rd house. So it's great that you could join me today. We're going to talk more about this 4th house next month. It's an important part of the zodiac. I hope you'll join me then. In the meantime, the textual reading for the month of March 2020 is there for you at astrology.com.au. You can follow the links here. Subscribe if you wouldn't mind. We can keep you posted as to what's happening. Drop me a line, and if you'd like a personal reading, I'm also here available to arrange that with you. Nothing like a personal look at your horoscope based upon your actual time of birth, your place of birth, and the year and month and day you were born as well. Till next month, take care. Bye-bye.